This is a Mortarbox Media podcast. For more podcasts and to learn how we can help you create your own, visit mortarboxmedia.com.
Welcome to Women AF, the podcast hosted by three friends who really could probably use a good massage right about now. How are you guys doing? I am here with Danny.
Heyo.
And Nicole.
That's me.
Yay, what's going on? Anybody? Who's got something to tell? Danny, you do.
Oh my goodness, I've been waiting.
Tell by your face.
Okay, so I originally intended to come on with the news that Gary the Ghost is gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell
he got
us.
a new car on Saturday.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I thought you went
So
through this whole exorcism or
car exorcism.
Got it.
Got a car exorcism. We got a priest to come in, bless our car. No. Gary is somebody else's problem now because
Yes.
we traded our car in at CarMax and in Kenosha. So we dropped the kids off at my parents, took a 2-hour drive
Wow.
to buy a car that we had our eyes on.
Yeah.
It was like a 2+ hour process. So I mean, it was kind of a date.
Aw.
6 hours without the kids.
That counts as a date in COVID times for sure.
Perfect.
Yep.
So I got a car that is reliable and whatever. And that was my big story I intended to come on with until Monday happened.
Oh boy. Something overshadowed a new car?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on Monday, I took my dog for a walk. I try to take her twice a day for just a little 15-minute walk to give her a break from just sitting there being bored that I'm on the computer all day long. And I come back, and Monday was the day that it was suddenly cold again and started snowing and was just not great outside. And we came back, and our garage door opener is on our phones, and I couldn't get it to open. So I'm sitting there trying. So then I called Daniel and I'm like, can you open our garage door? For whatever reason, mine isn't working. And he couldn't either. It just it said it was opening, but it wasn't opening. So I was like, okay, what's going on? So then I went to the keypad on our garage and I punched in the code, and that didn't open the garage door either.
Oh no.
And so I'm like, why isn't this working? What's going on? And then my phone died.
What is happening?
And you're outside with your dog.
So I'm locked out of my house with my dog.
Did Gary move to your garage?
I don't know. But
no.
I had a meeting starting in 15 minutes.
Of course you
I
did.
had no way of getting a hold of anybody because my phone's dead. I don't know any of our neighbors for me to go over and borrow the phone. So I'm I hope he figured out that my phone died. What am I going to do? But also my husband works 30 minutes from our house. So I'm okay. So I start going around the house. I'm is there any windows that are open? So I tried to pull the screens off of our sunroom and I couldn't get them off. I tried to push in the windows in our basement. Couldn't do that. I mean, I would be terrible at breaking into our house, but also if there was anyone around, they probably thought I was breaking into the house because I looked like it, even though I had a dog strapped to me and I'm walking around the house with the dog trying to break into my own house.
Yeah.
So then I'm okay, well, we have one of those doorbells that you can talk to. It's a video doorbell. So I'm let me try that. So I go and I'm ringing it and I'm holding the phone in front of the thing. So hopefully he sees my phone's dead. And I'm can you hear me? And remember, I'm outside with my dog trying to break into my house, screaming, can you hear me, into our doorbell.
Of course.
And he doesn't respond. And I was shoot, maybe it's not working. So I loop the house again, try to think of all the ways I could break in. I come down to, okay, the best way for me to break in would be to break the window in our garage. That's going to be our best bet, right? Mm-hmm. Because at least then it's not an interior window that we have to figure out later, right?
Yeah.
So I'm but I really don't want to break a window because then we have to fix a window.
So dramatic.
I know.
Yeah.
So I loop the house again. I get back on the doorbell and I'm can you hear me? Still no response. Loop the house again. Try to push in the basement windows again. I can't get them to budge. Poor River is like, what is even happening right now? She's just kind of like following me around. So the third, yes.
Wait, this is Monday. This is
Monday.
snow day? This is snow day.
Oh, and yes, by the way, it's also cold and snowing while this is happening.
And like snowing more than we've had in a little bit, right?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's correct. That was happening. So then I'm ringing the doorbell, and finally I hear a hello. Can you hear me? And I'm like, I can hear you. Can you hear me? And then, can you hear me? I can hear you. And like that goes on back and forth. And I was like, do I break a window or are you on your way home? And he's like, I'm on my way home. I'll be there. And I was like, okay. I think he said 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm not gonna break the window. So then like River and I just like kept looping the house, and I'm like totally missing this meeting. I hope I come in because I had meetings back to back. So I was like, hope I get in before the next meeting, or otherwise, like my coworkers are gonna think I'm dead. Like I'm just not.
That would be a
up.
big jump, but maybe.
Oh my gosh.
You never know. Okay.
Yeah.
And so like he finally gets in. He can't get the garage door open. So thankfully, I mean, obviously he uses his key. We go in the front door. And I quick like take River off and like run in, and it's like 3 minutes to my next meeting. But I was like, so anyway.
So what was it? Did you fix it? What happened?
Yeah.
The battery died on the garage door opener.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
It's so dumb. And like the worst part is our app has been saying that the battery is low for like a long time.
Oh, so it's your fault.
It really is our fault. But listen, we learned a lesson. I always take a spare key with me now when I go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, Danny. That's a classic Danny story.
I also had fun in the snow on Monday. I don't very often have let me tell a story during the time.
Well, we'd love to hear it.
I was driving for Uber on Monday during the blizzard and was on a very busy road here in town. And suddenly a green Kia started just like swerved in like into me if I hadn't braked and whatever. We were coming up to an intersection. So he didn't hit me, but then he like cut me off and whatever. So I changed lanes to get next to him. And I look at him. It's his personal vehicle, and I can tell, but it's got his company's magnet on the side, right?
Yeah.
And I turn and look at him and go, use your fucking eyes, man. And he goes, sorry. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and like for whatever reason, that pissed him off. It wasn't the use your fucking eyes. It was like me going, yeah. That pissed him off. And suddenly he whips open his door, steps out and goes, fuck you, Four Eyes. You want to get out of your car? Let's go. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I'm sorry. What grown-up calls another grown-up Four Eyes?
So let me read to you my email to his company.
Oh my god, yes,
Wait,
please.
let me ask. You said you were driving for Uber. Did you have somebody in the car?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
Okay. So let me read to you my email to his company that I also drove straight to read.
Oh, damn.
Hi, my name is Adam. This is going to be a dramatic reading, okay?
Okay.
Please.
I am emailing you because today, March 15th, I was nearly hit by one of your drivers with a Richwood Transport sticker on his car. Yeah, I'm calling him out.
Okay.
It's a green Kia of some kind, license plate, yada, yada, yada. He was a man in his mid to late 40s, I think. Short, thin, shaved head. It was on University Avenue at Marshall Court, Ridge Street. He changed lanes. I've suddenly decided I'm a 1950s detective.
Yeah. Okay.
He changed lanes, going about 35. He changed lanes going about 35 without checking his mirrors or turning his head in the slightest. Today, Madison is experiencing a massive blizzard. I told them that because this is a nationwide company, just so you know.
Okay, got it.
I had to slam on my brakes and swerve to avoid the collision, all at a pretty busy intersection. Honestly, not that big of a deal, but pretty annoying that he didn't even look to see if it was safe. Then I pulled up next to him and I just told you what happened. And So then he said,
Did you mention the Four Eyes thing?
yeah. So that's why I'm reading this because of what Carrie said.
Okay.
I said so. Then he said, "Fuck you, Four Eyes." Yes, I wear glasses. No, I wasn't aware that insult from 1958 was still in vogue. Listen, I'm not a dick, but this guy was an asshole. I've worked in transportation for 10 years, first as a driver for adults with disabilities, then as a route supervisor and dispatch, and now at the state government level. If one of my drivers ever behaved that way, warranted or not, they'd be gone. Richwood Transport is not my business, but I can tell you right now that after today, I also won't be doing business with Richwood Transport either. And then immediately, I sent the email at 6:32 at 6:48. Hello, Adam. Thank you for the email, and I'm very sorry for the issue. I am very embarrassed that any driver would conduct themselves in this matter. Please be rest assured that this driver just had his contract terminated. Effective.
Oops. Damn, Adam.
Yeah. Listen,
You did it.
I had stopped using cannabis. That was like day 2 of not using cannabis, so I was in no mood. No mood.
I get it.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Wow.
I will never get over 4 eyes.
4 eyes.
I can't even handle that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Fantastic, Nicole. What about you? You've got some 2 good stories to follow up. What you got?
Oh gosh. So last weekend was daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Spring forward, right? Get
Yep.
more lighting happening. However, if you have kids, this is also a very interesting time, and a lot of emotions happen with sleep schedules and just general life.
Yeah.
And also the weather started to get warmer, so we started to get outside more. And on Saturday, I thought I was being an amazing parent. And we played outside, we grilled outside. It was great. The kids loved it. They cried coming inside. So I was like, I'm going to be a great parent. Jared's going to be busy after dinner. I will take the kids by myself outside and just, get that rock star super parent sticker for the night, right? So I bundled them back up after dinner. I get them outside. They're having a blast. I tell them multiple times that, hey, it's only going to be 5 minutes. And in parenting language, that means 10 minutes, but you're saying it's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, they proceeded to have the biggest meltdown I have ever seen. And of course, it's outside. Where our neighborhood is all connected and everybody else was outside grilling.
Sure.
So I haven't had to do this in many, many years, but I had to physically carry my 4.5-year-old inside while she's screaming and crying at the top of her lungs.
I do not miss those days.
And then I had to go out because so she was causing the most trouble. I got her inside. And then my youngest, my 2-year-old, she started running from me. And I'm like, oh, you better not. And I started running after her. I picked her up and I'm kind of laughing because all the neighbors are now looking at me and my interactions. And I'm like, yeah, it's you're going to do this. Okay. And I just casually picked her up and we're going inside, and I brought her in. But that I don't know, this weekend just broke me because you're going outside more, people are watching you more, and daylight savings time,
Yeah, it was the beautiful weather on Saturday, and then it just after that it went downhill, and that hurt. And then the time change and everything, it was a slap to the face for sure.
Real hard.
I've had those moments too, though, when my kids were literally hauling them out of a store. Did you ever have that where they're screaming and crying, and you're just and everyone's ooh.
Yes, and they
super
always
fun.
Convince each other to be bad too. When one acts up, the other's yeah, she just starts crying. You're you don't even know what you're crying about.
They rile each other up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I get it. I get
What
it.
about you?
Oh guys, it finally happened. COVID
Tell
hit
us.
our household. Adam's shocked face. Yeah. Yeah, my husband has been locked away in a room for many days by now. I don't even know how many. I haven't seen him. He is pretty sick, honestly.
Really?
He's not doing
yeah?
well. Yep.
Uh-oh.
He started off with just with minor cold symptoms when he went and got his tests, but ever since he quarantined himself in that room, he's barely eaten. Like I'll take meals to him and he doesn't eat them, and yeah, so I don't hear much from him. Every once in a while I'll get a message on Facebook that's like, "Can I get some ice water?" Or like something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's rough, and that also means that the kids cannot go to school, and the kids had to jump back into virtual school starting yesterday. And I think you all remember how well that went for us the first time around. And going back into it has been incredibly hard. And they're going to have to do that for 2 weeks, all through next week as well. And then after that, it's their spring break. So they're all they're just home with me now for 3 weeks straight while I am
Solo parenting.
extremely busy at work. This is like a really busy time. Yeah, one parent down. It's an utter shit show in this house. So that's how I'm doing.
Carrie, am so glad to hear you say all that, but let me explain.
Please do.
I was very seriously concerned for you today. Since we've been talking and through the show, I could tell. I was like, Carrie, there is something wrong. And honestly, Carrie, I was at the end here. I was gonna go, hey, Carrie, could you stay on real quick? Because I just wanted to check in and be like, are you okay?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That bad?
I just thought that you were really, really tired. I mean, you don't look run down, but I don't know if you believe in things like a countenance or your aura. It was just, I got the vibe that there was just something going on.
See, well, you would have been right on. So
I'm glad that it's not like, hey, I just found out this.
I'm dying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad that you're not
you were
dying,
very
Carrie.
perceptive
I am
then,
too.
because it's been honestly terrible. And I mean, there's other things too going on, like, just other like things, and it's I'm not myself currently.
So what you're saying is we do need to follow up and actually go on these awesome massages and
yes,
saunas, and yes, let's do
I
it.
deserve one.
Yeah,
After
you do.
this 3 weeks, then I'm booking that massage.
You deserve like
100%.
a whole week-long massage, like
That
after
would be
everything you've been
awesome.
through.
A week-long
Hey.
massage.
You know what?
Yes,
and that
please.
would line up with your birthday.
There you go.
Yeah.
God, that makes a lot of sense.
Boom, boom, boom.
Massage for my birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Boom. Yay. All right. Well, I think we should move on. We've been chatting forever. We have another awesome interview today for the 1 Year In series, where we're talking to people about how this past pandemic year has gone for them. And for this episode, we talked to, I'm going to say it right this time, Andrea Keapproth. God dang it. Andrea Keapproth is the owner of Resolution Health Collaborative, which offers therapeutic bodywork, acupuncture, and functional fitness in downtown Madison, Wisconsin. After starting her first therapeutic massage business in 2010, she immediately appreciated both the rehabilitative potential of massage and the myriad benefits offered to clients by a practice with integrative therapies. Besides massage and integrative medicine, Andrea enjoys languages and international cultures. She's been to 5 continents continents, speaks conversational Mandarin, and is a tea connoisseur. So needless to say, we had lots of interesting things to talk about with Andrea. So you're all going to love the episode. Stay tuned for that.
What is at the core of being a Women AF? In our definition, we are a group of feminist humans who believe in supporting others, flaws and all. We wanted to create a community with like-minded folks and come together, share personal issues, share our truths, wins, and laughter. And so we are excited to announce our brand new Facebook group where we can bring this community together. The Women AF Podcast Facebook group is a supportive group full of women AFers, and we would love to have you there. Search for Women AF Podcast Facebook group on Facebook or use the link in the show notes to join today.
All right, we're back, and we are about to get into our conversation with Andrea Keapproth. How was that? Did I do it?
Close, yeah. Andrea Keapproth.
I knew that.
Okay.
We went over that. Andrea Keapproth. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Women AF.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're very excited to have you on. Let's get into it. Why don't you tell us a little bit just about you and your background and kind of how you came into the health and wellness field?
Sure. So I was interested in healthcare. I wanted to do something that would help others. And so I started out with massage therapy. So I got licensed as a massage therapist in 2007. And I've been practicing for a little over 13 years now.
All right.
Wow.
So my plan was to use it as a stepping stone to future healthcare professions. And so I was considering PT, I was considering becoming an osteopath, or a acupuncturist, Chinese doctor. So unfortunately, all of those schools were not here.
Are you born and raised in the area?
I am. So I did consider, going and being trained in another state or even another country. But I started my company, and that kind of limited my mobility. So I'm thankful that one of the positive things that came out of the current situation is the opportunity to do more virtual learning. And so the school that I have been wanting to apply to for about a decade now has a virtual option that I can do for the first year. And so I will be starting my PhD in the fall.
Ooh, that is so exciting.
Yeah.
So there are so many silver linings really to what's been going on.
It's true.
And that sounds really exciting for you. Well, tell us about your business. Tell us about Resolution. What's it all about?
Yeah, so Resolution, I started that in 2010 in Cottage Grove in the back of a chiropractic office.
Oh.
So it had some, small beginnings. I had already been licensed for 3 years at that time, and I didn't want to work in a spa. And so after interviewing at a couple places, I saw the chiropractic office that had an opening and decided in about 3 days' time that I was going to start my company.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wait, you saw that they had an opening to work in the office?
They were renting out a room in the back of their office to a massage therapist.
Okay. So your clients would come in through the same entrance and then just, okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. That's a good way to start.
Yeah, and some of them were already chiropractic patients, and so they would see me before or after an appointment. So it was a good way to just start building my clientele.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And did you say 3 days? Like you saw the listing and then 3 days you're like, let's do this.
I saw the listing, I applied, and they got back to me. And I saw the space and they went, okay, so we have 5 other people who are interested. So you get 3 days. And if we don't hear from you, we're going to go to the next person.
Oh, wow. Ooh, a little cutthroat there.
It's like a game show. Oh, man.
So I went home and I researched everything I could about starting a company and what it would require of me, and came up with a name, and there we go.
That's pretty impressive.
So yeah, it worked.
And how did it grow? It's kind of a whole different thing now, isn't it?
I guess would say I started it with the same base. It was, I wanted to work with people who, in more of like a medical arena, so not a spa type massage place. So that just, I've carried forward throughout the whole company, was to continue to meet people where they were and help them to hit the goals that they need. If that's where they can't raise their arm because they hurt their shoulder, or they were in a car accident and, you know, they're going to have some chronic things moving forward. So yeah, so I just kept growing the business, and I think the way it worked out was every 3 years I doubled my space.
Wow.
That's impressive.
And
yeah, that's great. You just kind of kept moving up in the world.
Yeah, I didn't realize it would get this big when I started out.
That's great. Tell us kind of fully what Resolution offers.
So we currently offer massage therapy, and within that, just different modalities ranging from your typical massage to things that are more technical, like lymphatic drainage and cupping. And then we also have acupuncture and an infrared sauna, which is fantastic during the winter.
What is that compared to like a sauna?
The infrared. So
yeah.
It is different than a traditional sauna, where it uses infrared, not light, but heat.
Oh.
And so it's able to heat you faster than it would a traditional sauna. So with a traditional sauna, it heats the air around you and then you get hot. And some people can't stay in that for very long because they can't breathe. So the nice thing about a infrared sauna is that it heats you. It also heats the air, but it heats you. And so you can be in there at a lower temperature and breathe more easily and get more benefits.
Interesting.
I mean, if there's anywhere that's going to be a popular thing, it's around here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just the word warmth. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We were kind of curious looking through your website about a few things. You mentioned using Eastern and Western techniques and medicines. Mm-hmm. So can you just explain a little bit more about those, like the differences and the techniques and what that all might entail?
Yeah, so the way I generally explain the difference between Eastern and Western is that Western medicine focuses on symptoms, and Eastern medicine focuses more on systemic issues and underlying causes. So when it comes to, like, if somebody breaks their arm, they're going to want to go to a Western medical doctor to get an x-ray, have it cast, and see if they need to get surgery. But the helpful thing with the Eastern medicine is after that happens, they would be able to use, say, like acupuncture to reduce inflammation, to help with the nerves, if there was any nerve damage. It would also be able to look at underlying causes that would be preventing you from healing optimally. So that's kind of how I'd explain it. So in our practice, massage kind of is a nice in-between, because we are also working on the symptoms of, like, my neck hurts, but we can do some of the underlying part of, well, your neck hurts because your hips are out of alignment or because you're using your computer mouse wrong. And so we're able to marry those two understandings of health.
So it's like you would be getting kind of a bigger picture, like a fuller picture of what was going on.
Yeah, I'd say it's a more holistic view.
Nice. In case anyone noticed, we hadn't heard from Danny. She was a little late and has popped on. And hi, Danny.
Hi, everybody.
It's good to have you back in.
Thanks. It's good to be here. Right as I was getting on, I dropped my water bottle under the table and I was in such a hurry that I went to get it and I like bashed my head on the desk.
Classic Danny.
Such a mess getting on, but I'm here now.
Yay.
Yay. Hi, Andrea.
Hey, welcome back.
Thanks.
We're just chatting about kind of her holistic approach to health that she brings to the people at Resolution. And I think this leads into another thing we were kind of curious about is the phrase integrative health. Mm-hmm. And what exactly that means.
The integrative health would be the way in which both of those Eastern and Western medicines work together.
Okay.
So it's more of them both understanding how each approaches a problem.
Okay.
And then integrating together. So say with with us, we will have somebody come in and I may give them a massage and then say, well, it looks like chiropractic might be something you need to do prior to seeing us again because of these issues that we're seeing. Or maybe you need to go see a physical therapist for certain strengthening or stretching. Or they could also go see one of our trainers if it's something that's not PT necessary. So they could go see a fitness trainer and also learn how to strengthen and do some of that stuff at home.
So you also offer fitness options.
We do. I forgot to mention that earlier.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I was looking through your website, as I said, and I noticed that one of your trainers I have taken classes from at different places, and he was one of my favorite trainers.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I would recommend going to one of his classes. I mean, can I say his name?
Dakota?
Dakota, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's wonderful. We love Dakota.
He is great. He's just like a really fun guy and will give you a crazy workout.
He'll give you a good workout and he'll do it with you.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so I fully recommend Dakota to anyone, so.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. So when you're talking about this merging of this holistic approach, Western and Eastern type practices, is this pretty common or is this kind of newer, especially for the area that you're in? Like we're in Wisconsin, Midwest. Is this pretty common?
I would say for the Midwest, it's new, but you will find more of this on the coasts. So California and I'd say, Oregon, those sorts of areas, you'll find that this is more commonly practiced. When I lived in China, it was pretty typical that if you went to a hospital, you would have both an acupuncturist and a medical doctor visit you in the room.
Oh, wow.
So it's more integrated in that respect in certain areas, and it's starting to make its way to here. And with the Midwest, we're good Norwegian Germans, so we're a little slow and stubborn, so it's going to take some time.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Did you find any pushback or any resistance? I know you mentioned how you kind of doubled every 3 years. Did you find anybody that was like resistant to it?
I would say there's some just underlying resistance from some of the hospitals, which I've been trying to make inroads with. Some doctors who when I started out, I sent letters and like gift certificates to doctors to come and try our services so that they would be more aware of the benefits that it would be for their patients. So sometimes what's not taught in school for them is to send someone to get a massage if they're having back pain. They usually send you with a prescription for a muscle relaxer. So it would be nice for us to start thinking of other alternatives.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to get massages on prescription.
Right? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
And
could
if
get more of
insurance
them.
cover it? Yes,
Yeah.
that sounds wonderful.
That'd be
Right?
nice.
I think that, and this might lead into what I was about to talk about, that I read that massages were deemed part of an essential service when things shut down. Is that true?
Yeah, massage, chiropractic, acupuncture were deemed an essential service during the lockdown.
Okay, so that had to be very helpful because let's go back to when things started closing down at the beginning of the pandemic around here. What were your first thoughts? Because everything you do is person to person, like close contact. Mm-hmm. So how did you panic? How did you approach this?
I didn't feel panicked with the way that we operate. I had our setup clinic-wise. I had it set up to be fairly. I found it very, very of a safe setup, so I didn't panic in that respect. I'd say more of the panic came because of the communication issues that were coming out of our government. And so that probably was more difficult than just dealing with how do we operate and see people.
Did you feel like regulations weren't clear or people weren't willing to follow them?
I think it was more of we were told one thing and then it was changed. And so I was constantly having to figure out what is the current stance, what's actually being told to us to do. And when that kept changing, that made it difficult to pivot properly.
There were many, many new orders.
Yes.
All with different regulations. Yeah, it was confusing as heck. But you were able to just kind of keep the massage and things like that going because they were deemed essential, right? Like,
yes.
Did that have to change in any way?
At one point, we were down to just our medical need clients. So those who had been seen us on a weekly or biweekly basis because of their chronic pain. If they didn't see us, they would have been locked up at home and in pain with nothing to do about it. And so we stayed open for those clients.
That's great. What about the fitness part of resolution? That's a little different. How is it? Hold on. Adam's raising his hand as he does.
I've been dying. This is why I suggested Andrea. I knew she'd be a great guest. And this field is fascinating to me during the pandemic because, Andrea, I'm picturing you there giving massages in fucking, like hazmat suit and 10 pairs of gloves. Did you not have to, do you guys not have to wear gloves or anything?
I chose to not wear gloves. It was, some people recommended it. I didn't see a need for it because we wash our hands so much,
right?
And I don't lick my fingers. So I felt pretty safe.
Yeah. I personally, I can't imagine anything more uncomfortable than getting a massage. But maybe
I thought you were going to say with gloves on. But,
I was nodding my head to the gloves part, not the massage part.
No. Listen, I hate people touching me. It's tough when my wife touches my arm. Okay, a stranger paying a stranger to touch me. No. The only thing that might be worse is a stranger with plastic gloves on touching me.
Yeah,
agree about that part.
I do have to actually say that every opportunity that I have to get gifts, birthday, Christmas, whatever, the number one thing always on my list is a massage. So Adam, I would say I'm literally the opposite of you, where I'm like, please, somebody give me a massage. Anybody. I don't even care. I try to trick my kids into giving me massages.
Oh, me too.
All of you strangers, please touch me is what Dan.
Yes.
Well, you can have Adam go in the sauna instead.
There you go.
That works.
I will say, so me and my husband felt similar to you, Adam. Like, it's just, I mean, my social bubble is a little bit, bigger. But recently, especially with the pandemic hitting and working from home and working at a, kitchen table, my husband has been dealing with so much back pain, like you mentioned. And the doctor did say, go to a masseuse. Like, just, that's a masseuse, right? Go get a massage. That's not right, is it?
Massage
therapist. Massage therapist. Dang it.
That's okay. The other one can have a bad connotation. That's all.
Andrea, that was the funniest response I have ever seen on the show. And listeners, if you are not on Patreon and you can't see Andrea's response, you need to get on Patreon right now. It's patreon.com/WomenAF podcast.
It was so subtle, but it said everything.
Yes. But I mean, it helped him immensely, and now he's going multiple times. Like, it's so beneficial and so helpful for back pain, especially.
Yeah, I have coined a term. I call it Zoom neck.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I have a lot of people coming in with Zoom neck and Amazon box desk. They literally stacked up Amazon boxes because they didn't have a desk or an ironing board. That was my other favorite. Someone they didn't have a standing desk, so they were working on an ironing board.
Oh man, people are just making it work, kind of.
Kind of.
Not great if they're ending up at the massage therapist, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have to sit in the crappy chairs we have around this house, and my back's never been more sore. Mm-hmm. I don't have that cushy work chair at my house, so makes sense. All right, now back before Adam rudely interrupted. Back to my question about the fitness studio part of it. How was that run before COVID ever came around?
Well, that's a good question because we had our grand opening in February. So we had just finished
Oh my
construction.
goodness.
That is such a huge bummer.
I know, it sucks.
Oh no. Okay, so what was your plan originally in February?
We had a great plan with spring coming. We had all these great, we had boot camps set up. We had we were doing, people were signing up for memberships and they were getting swag. It was great. So, yeah, but then,
Ouch.
yeah, but then everything, changed. And the different part with the fitness studio is we were legally forced to close that. And so that side of the business was closed.
You just shut that down.
Shut it down
for the time being. Yep.
All the memberships that we had, most people just went, never mind, cancel that.
Yeah.
So we did open up virtual options, but that only works for so long for some people.
Yeah, I get that. I did that for a while. It's a bummer.
Yeah,
having you just do that in your house.
It's good, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. You'd think it would be easy. You're right. You're right in your home. You don't have to go anywhere. Just do it. But it's somehow so much harder.
I actually found it easier when I couldn't go to the gym anymore. I tried to follow like workout videos or like do that kind of thing, and it just felt so awkward. It's just something that's awkward about it, and I found it easier to just put on my favorite YouTube video that's 30 minutes long and then just do cardio in place to that, because it was, at least I could enjoy it.
Yeah,
that's
funny. I still do some virtual workout classes. I do at least 2 a week. I like it because it is a scheduled time and I have to be there, but I'm never on camera because our workout space is in the basement and there is just nowhere to put my phone. So everyone would just be looking at my ceiling the whole time. So like, I don't get the benefit of being like, hey, you're doing that thing wrong, or like, don't hit yourself in the head with the weights, which is generally, I know not to do that, but
But you do it anyway sometimes?
No, I don't ever do it on purpose. But I mean, like our trainer is even like, hey, Danny, can you go on video so I know you didn't like pass out or something?
Yeah, virtual workouts, this is not the same. Not the same at all.
No, you miss a lot of things like Danny was saying. You don't get that personal feedback from the trainer, and you don't get that connection with people.
Yeah, that's so important. And what's the current state of the fitness element of Resolution? Are there in-person classes now, like group?
Yeah, we have opened up now for, I'd say we have more people doing personal training, but then the like one-on-one personal training, but we do have small classes. The nice thing about the way we set up the fitness studio to begin with was it was created to be a small class studio.
Great.
And so we were only going to have 4 to 5 people doing like the HIIT workouts.
Yeah.
And a max of 10 people doing yoga. So it was already set up to be more of an intimate, personalized class versus a big box gym. You got 40 people doing yoga at once.
Yes, that's perfect then.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
We're wondering also about your staff. Obviously, you have staff, and how did this affect them? Did you apply for any assistance like PPP or anything like that, or what was the situation there?
For staff, I tried to communicate with them about comfort levels and what people were wanting to do. And so different people chose to wait to go back to work than others. So I just made space for that. And then otherwise, I mean, there's been a few people that due to family circumstances moved out of state. So it's what it is.
Yep.
Or the way it is at this time.
Yeah, that's nice that you kind of gave them an option of what they felt comfortable with.
As you're answering these questions, I just have to say, like, you sound so like calm and like you easily went with the flow, and like was that, and I know some people did, and that was like, okay, this is what's happening, we can go with it. What did you feel like at the time when you were making these decisions as the business owner? Like, did you feel like, okay, I can do this, or did it feel like scary? Or
before you answer this question, Andrea, I just want to say, how old are we? Are we 33?
We're 33.
I have known Andrea Keapproth for 33 years, and I have never in my life heard her talk louder than she currently is now.
Not ever.
Never in my life. She is always this calm. So now you can answer.
Okay, but some people project calm and maybe feel, a little more trepidation happening inside, or maybe you're just like totally like, we can do this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there were times where my stress levels weren't visible. Yeah, I'd say I'm sure every small business owner went through the stages of, am I going to lose my company? Are we going to push through this? And yeah, I'd say for probably a good for the first 2-3 months of the lockdowns, I probably was sitting there going, how are we going to make it out of this? And so I just thought I'm going to push through it. And that's all I could do, is keep pushing through.
I am going to also just say, if you've never considered this as a business idea, maybe offering classes on how to be calm might be a good idea.
I love that. Sign me up.
Yeah, I should learn how to teach those breathing classes.
There you go. I'll give you my money for that.
Yeah, same. Sign us up.
Record my voice. You can listen to it as you go to bed. Something.
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness, you would be the best meditation voice.
Dude, Andrea, if you not even meditation, Andrea, I've got a studio. We could make a fortune. Here's the thing. What you do is you record words of affirmation. You have the perfect voice for like an hour-long words of affirmation track.
Yeah. I do the Headspace app, and I've heard a lot of different types of voices talking.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, I'm very much enjoying listening to your voice. Not to say that in a really creepy sounding way. But I think you'd be great at that.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind. My fiance can model, and I'll be a voice actor.
Perfect.
There you go.
Power couple.
Yeah.
All right. One thing that we all thought was really interesting in reading about you on your website, it says that you enjoy languages and international cultures. You've been to 5 continents. You speak conversational Mandarin, and you're a tea connoisseur. And we're like, whoa, she just throws out there casually, speaks conversational Mandarin.
Yeah, I really got to work on that so I can say fluent.
Do you practice it currently?
I was gonna get a tutor so that I could become more fluent, but I haven't been able to make that happen right now. I do speak when I have an opportunity. What's fun is in my dreams, I'll every once in a while have a dream in Mandarin, and then I sound fantastic.
Cool.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
And did you pick up Mandarin while you lived in China?
I studied it. Well, it's interesting. So I've been interested in learning Mandarin since I was about 10 years old, but we weren't able to find, at that time in Madison, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for learning it as a kid. So I had to wait until high school, where I was allowed to go to UW-Madison and take classes there.
Fun.
Yeah. But I've been traveling there since I was 13.
Oh,
So
wow.
you have a lot of experience with obviously Asian massage practices and techniques and just general health stuff, and you've lived there. And it seems appropriate to ask, being that we're talking about COVID, the event that happened, the shooting in Atlanta that happened at massage parlors.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's terrible, but would just be interested in kind of like your thoughts on that, given that you have the experience of, working with a lot of Asian people and Asian Americans. And then also, obviously, you have a massage therapy clinic. So
yeah, until I hear more about it, when I saw what happened, that was a lot of things went through my mind. Where was it? And do I need to call my receptionist to make sure things are fine? But with it being because of there's this connotation here about Asian massage, and sometimes what happens is people see that in a sexual context. Sometimes we'll have people call our office and ask if we have Asian massage, and a lot of times, or an Asian therapist, because they're looking for something different, and that's unfortunate and frustrating for me, because it gives levels of misunderstanding about what massage is, and also it shades people from Asia in an incorrect light. So I guess that's kind of where I was processing when I saw everything that happened.
yeah, I can imagine. And I mean, I have heard also similar connotations. I remember when I got my first massage, I think I said to the massage therapist, like, oh, should I just jump up on the bed? Like, where do you want me to go? And they were like, we don't call it a bed, we call it a table. And like, I know there's some like really specific like terminology and things just to kind of, make it a very professional experience. And so, yeah, I can imagine that would be really frustrating.
Mm.
And in some cases dangerous, as we have learned. That type of misconception can be really harmful.
Yeah, and I don't, yeah, I don't know what else was going on with the person, but yeah.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Can I ask, because I think you casually said it, you've been to China multiple times?
Yeah, I've been traveling there since I was 13, and then I lived there during when I was, let's see, I've been there probably 6 times. And I lived there during 2009.
Okay. Wow. Very cool.
So do you have any plans for resolution as things open up wide again? Do you have any, plans to open it up to more people, make it bigger? Are you just sort of riding the wave of what's happening right now?
Well, I would love to be able to bring back our community acupuncture. We had just started doing community acupuncture, which isn't a commonly understood option for people. So instead of having only one person getting acupuncture in a room, we're able to see 4 people at once.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, and the idea is that everyone who's being treated, they kind of share this healing energy.
Okay.
And so everyone is able to get their treatment. And when you're with other people in the room, it can help those who are a bit anxious about receiving acupuncture feel calmer because there's other people there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm someone who's always been interested in acupuncture, but I have a fear of needles. Ironically, I'm a diabetic, so I'm around needles like literally all the time. But something about acupuncture needles totally freaks me out. What do you say to people who are in that boat?
I would say that if you're used to having a hypodermic needle, acupuncture needles are so much thinner that you sometimes don't even feel them going in. And once they are in, you don't feel them while they're in. So I also hate needles. And my first acupuncture appointment, I think I was sweating bullets because of my anxiety.
Yeah.
But
have you ever had anyone faint during acupuncture?
Ooh.
We haven't had anybody faint. We have had people who, 10 minutes into the appointment, they went, my fear needles is too strong. Could you take them out? And we have one thing that I had in our office is every single room has a panic button. And so in acupuncture, if you need to get a hold of your acupuncturist, you just push the button and she's right there.
That
is a fantastic feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So Danny, what do you think? You're going to give it a shot?
I would like to give it a shot. I like the panic button feature. I am a fainter. Again, this is weird. I know I experience needles all the time, but I've probably fainted 15 times related to like shots or blood draws.
Really?
Yeah, it's outrageous. I even fainted when I got my tragus pierced in my ear. Like, oof. With the needle still in my ear. It was like a whole thing.
Oh, geez.
But I really do want to try it because I have heard really great things about it.
Yeah.
Well, I think I should go and try a massage. You can go and do acupuncture. Nicole, you can hop in the sauna.
I'll do the sauna. I'll do massage. I'll do whatever. I just want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm game for all the things, right? We do massage, acupuncture. We can do a workout. Maybe not all on the same day.
Yes!
That feels like a lot.
You could though. We have people who'll come and do yoga, sauna, and massage.
It's like a perfect day to me.
Yeah, right?
It does.
Sauna fits 3 people at once, ladies.
Boom, perfect.
Yeah. And you can record your voice saying affirmations, and that can be playing the whole day.
I love it.
Oh, wow.
You guys should do like a review episode after this. Like go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good.
If we do it for the podcast, we can write it off, right?
Yeah, totally. It's a business expense. Definitely.
I love it.
All right.
To finish answering your question, Carrie, about growth, I would say I would be looking to bring on more people. So
great.
we are at a lesser. Our staffing is less than it was before, and I would love to hire on more people who have abilities. So I have an additional therapy room that would hold chiropractic or physical therapy, which is one of the things I was wanting to add to our space that we don't have. So that would be the next step for resolution, is to have a chiropractor or physical therapist.
Could it also hold a podcast studio? Because mine is about to be filled with children.
Are they yours?
Pardon?
What?
Yeah, wait, where are these children coming from?
Oh no! Ashley and I are trying to have kids, and so suddenly I'm gonna have to find
Multiples.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, that was a joke.
You've got a little bit of time.
A poorly landed joke is what that was.
I was like, is he opening a daycare? What's happening?
Right? Okay.
Well, it's good to hear you want to keep growing and growing, because we're all definitely interested, and you'll probably see our faces showing up at Resolution soon.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really interesting hearing about your business and this past year for you and all of that. We really appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. It was wonderful.
Guys, didn't I tell you that was going to be a great guest?
Yeah.
You were right.
Way to be humble. I like it. I like it.
Honestly, when I first thought of, hey, let's do like a series of talking to business owners, the first person I thought of was Andrea, because we've talked about it already. Just the thought of like, we're all during this thing like, hey, stay at a distance, but like, how do you do a business where your business is to be in somebody's business? The funniest thing I have ever said. I just thought it was interesting.
I agree with you. She was great to talk to. Her chill vibe was honestly kind of what I needed today.
I loved her chill vibe.
Yeah.
I did too. Yeah.
It really makes
I
me
was
want to go
serious.
there.
Yeah, serious. And I was serious about like her doing affirmations or meditations or whatever. She has like
Yes.
the best voice.
A sleep podcast.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I could
like
go to
it.
sleep listening to her.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that would be awesome.
But yeah, it was really interesting listening to her talk about her whole cool integrative health business. And honestly, I really do want to go there. Everything there is exactly what I'm into.
Me too.
If they could just offer donuts, then that would be like the best place for me.
Yes.
Do we suggest that to her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should.
Good.
We'll send her a list of business ideas and start it with donuts. Add
Sleep podcast.
episode, sleep podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
donut. What else do we got? Pizza?
Sure.
Very integrative healthy, I think.
Yes. That fits right in. Well, for all you listeners, why don't you let us know what you thought of the episode? Why don't you let us know what you think she should add to her business? Email us, womenafpodcast@gmail.com, or you can contact us through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're at Women AF Podcast. And, you can also become a Patreon supporter if you want for exclusive content. And we'll send you some free stuff. That's at patreon.com/womenafpodcast. Or, hey, you can just click the link in the show notes. It's all right there. So until next week, we're Women AF, and we know you are too. Women AF is produced by Mortarbox Media and engineered by Adam Rostad. Intro and outro music is SQZ by Shane Ivers. Check him out at silvermansound.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.